So decisions within a spatial context, what is the benefit of that? Well, for one, we can deliver additional value. So identifying bundles or work packages for tactical planning purposes, and visualize spatial clusters of risk for strategic planning. And this is one of the capabilities as part of our interactive GIS module. Those assets don't live in tables; they exist in space and time. And that interactive GIS capability brings us into the strategy and planning world. Another benefit is integrating that GIS system. So we removed data duplication. We're not, with interactive GIS, we're not migrating data across the Copperleaf. Instead, it's an embedded experience so you can visualize those assets and investments. And then efficiency increases. So we're not moving between multiple logins or different systems, disparate systems, and we're not having to sort of create a sort of intermediate analysis. We can start to do all that within one UI under one login, and with that deliver a strategic advantage. So previously or historically, maybe we didn't have those spatial layers, fire risks, flood risks, rising sea levels, any of those spatial challenges that we have data sets for, we commonly use in our day-to-day planning work, and so why shouldn't we be trying to integrate those within our decision making as well? And then finally, speaking of interactive GIS, it's an out-of-the-box solution. This isn't building custom integrations or custom development to integrate with your platform. It's a ready-to-go connector that we're deploying across many customers now. And that means it's tried, tested, proven, and it's quick and easy to roll out so as you can get value from it as soon as possible. So what we'll do that now we've covered some of the benefits and understood what it can do for us, we'll have a look and see what does that actually look like in reality. So in Copperleaf, we can have investment maps. We can go in and directly through the UI, edit investment geometry, select investments in space and add those to select assets in space, add those to our investments, or modify sort of auto-generated investments from predictive analytics, for example, to start to do that sort of spatial bundling approach where we notice nearby assets which for logistical reasons makes sense that we address as part of this investment. This is part of that spatial visualization of that asset risk, and you'll note here that we can actually view this evolving over time. And with that, we can identify pockets of high risk or notice where risk is evolving more significantly over time, and ensure that we have investments that address that risk. And if not, directly from the UI, select those assets and create investments from that to address that risk in time. And then, we've talked about assets and investments in singularity. Now we start to consider full scenarios, looking at that spatial relationships between multiple investments, and seeing how these evolve between different scenario runs and starting to do scenario comparisons. So if we have a different set of business constraints, how might that scenario look with a higher budget or a higher capital budget or a higher risk mitigation strategy over time as well, and ultimately understanding what that cost